Myanmar, a land of golden temples and whispering plains, where mist drapes the Chin hills like silk, where rivers carve through emerald valleys, and where time moves at the pace of wings. Its landscapes are poetry in motion. The hush of dawn rising over the Irrawaddy, the hum of life in teak forests soaked with rain, and the shimmer of wetlands glowing beneath the monsoon sky. Here, nature breathes in contrasts, from the snow-kissed peaks of the far north to the mangrove coasts where land and sea entwine. Myanmar is home to some of the most enchanting and elusive birds in Asia, where the green peafowl struts like a living jewel beneath ancient trees. The white-bellied heron stalks rivers wrapped in silence, and flocks of Sarus cranes dance across the flooded fields at sunrise. In this episode from BBTV Official, we journey across this mystical land, from hidden bamboo forests to golden rice fields, to meet the birds whose colors, calls, and grace echo the wild, eternal spirit of Myanmar itself. High in the mist-wrapped peaks of Mount Victoria, a flicker of gray and flame darts along ancient oaks, the white-browed nuthatch, Sitta victoriae. Its name reflects its signature white eyebrow, a streak of light across a dusky face, as if the mountain itself had brushed it with snow. Known locally in Myanmar's Chin Hills as a symbol of purity and persistence, this nuthatch remains one of Asia's rarest avian treasures, living in the quiet breath of cloud forests few have ever seen. Endemic to the highlands of western Myanmar, it thrives between 7,000 and 9,000 feet, where moss carpets every branch and orchids bloom from bark like frozen fire. These forests, often shrouded in fog and rain, hum with the sound of cicadas and dripping leaves, a sanctuary suspended between earth and sky. Habitat loss has pushed it to the brink, yet in these pockets of untouched wilderness, it endures. Barely 4.7 inches long and weighing less than half an ounce, the white-browed nuthatch carries elegance in miniature. Its slate-gray wings shimmer with soft blue tones, while the chest glows a warm cinnamon buff. The white eyebrow glints like a sunrise breaking through storm clouds. Unlike most songbirds, it moves headfirst down tree trunks, gripping bark with steel-like claws, an acrobat of the canopy. This inverted dance lets it find hidden insects others miss, making it a master of vertical worlds. Feeding mostly on beetle larvae, spiders, and tiny seeds, it flits swiftly from trunk to trunk, tapping and probing with its sharp bill. During breeding season, pairs choose hollow cavities, softened by years of rot and rain. They line the nest with moss and feathers, raising 3 to 5 pale eggs beneath a canopy perpetually veiled in mist. Across the golden plains and sunlit scrublands of central Myanmar, a burst of chatter ripples through the air, lively, musical, and impossible to ignore. That sound belongs to the white-throated babbler, Argia gularis, the only bird found nowhere else but within Myanmar's borders. Its name mirrors its defining mark, a pure white throat that gleams against a cloak of warm brown feathers. This endearing species thrives in dry zones and open woodlands, from the Irrawaddy Valley to the outskirts of Bagan's ancient temples. Unlike forest-dwelling birds, It lives close to human presence, adapting to changing landscapes with remarkable resilience. Here, under Myanmar's glowing sun, the babbler's chatter blends with the clatter of life, a small symphony of coexistence. Measuring about 9 inches long, it's a medium-sized bird with a sturdy body, pale eyes, and a tail that flicks restlessly like a question mark. The white throat shines clean against its cinnamon chest, while its wings fade into earthy gray, a palette made for blending into arid grasslands. Its most charming feature, however, is not its plumage, but its voice. The white-throated babbler rarely stays silent. It sings, squabbles, and whistles in chorus with others of its kind, forming noisy family groups that seem to gossip as they forage together. Feeding mainly on insects and small fruits, they rummage through leaf litter and scrub, tossing debris aside with quick, clever movements. Every meal is a communal event, accompanied by an orchestra of chirps and clicks. When nesting season arrives, the pair weaves a rough cup of twigs and grass in a low bush, guarded fiercely by their extended clan. Their calls grow softer then, gentler, protective. And as the sun sinks behind the dry hills, their voices linger over the fields, bright, restless, and unmistakably alive, echoing the spirit of Myanmar's open land. Like a living emerald come to life, the green peafowl, Pavo muticus, walks the sunlit plains of Myanmar with the poise of royalty. Its name, rooted in Latin for shining peafowl, reflects its brilliance. Feathers that glow with shifting shades of green, gold, and bronze. Once a sacred emblem of beauty and power across Southeast Asia, it remains one of the most breathtaking symbols of Myanmar's wild heritage. This species ranges across the central dry zones and river valleys, especially along the Irrawaddy basin, where open grasslands meet sparse forests. It favors lowlands and streamsides rich in shade and seed, but its realm has grown smaller over time, threatened by deforestation and quiet hunters' paths. Standing nearly 10 feet from beak to tail and weighing up to 13 pounds, the male green peafowl dazzles like no other. Its metallic plumage ripples like sunlight on armor, while its immense train, studded with shimmering eye spots, unfurls in a spectacle of light and motion. The female, smaller and earth-toned, carries a subtler grace, her feathers whispering bronze under the sun. When breeding season arrives, the male fans his glittering train and shivers it in a low, rustling tremor, a dance so vivid that the forest seems to pause. Few displays in nature capture such raw magnificence. Feeding on seeds, insects, and tender shoots, it strides across the grass with measured confidence, foraging at dawn and dusk when the land cools and shadows stretch long. The female nests in tall grass, guarding 3 to 6 pale eggs with quiet devotion until her chicks hatch, tiny and golden beneath her wings. And as dusk settles, the peafowl's ringing cry echoes across the fields, haunting and proud. A voice from an ancient kingdom still alive in shimmering feathers. Through the dim light of a jungle morning, a shimmer of silver gray stirs among the undergrowth. The gray peacock-pheasant, Polyplectron bicalcaratum. Each step it takes releases a quiet gleam, as though the forest floor itself were breathing light. Its name, drawn from the Greek polyplectron, meaning many spurs, hints at both beauty and power, a creature as ornate as it is elusive. Known in Myanmar as the forest jewel, it moves with the calm dignity of something ancient, woven into the pulse of rain and leaf. Native to the evergreen and mixed deciduous forests of Myanmar, this species thrives in the shadowy depths of bamboo thickets and moss-draped slopes. Where the soil stays damp and the air carries the scent of orchids and decay, the gray peacock-pheasant finds home. Ranging about 23 inches long, it wears feathers so intricately patterned they seem embroidered. Each plume bears a constellation of green and violet eye spots that flicker like gemstones across satin-gray armor. The male's twin leg spurs glint faintly when he moves, a symbol of defense and dominance. In courtship, he transforms into a dancer of light. With tail and wings unfurled, he pivots in slow, deliberate circles before the female, the eye spots catching beams of filtered sunlight in waves of living color. It is a performance both regal and reverent, as though the forest itself were his audience. Feeding mainly on seeds, termites, and fallen fruit, he patrols the forest floor with quiet precision, turning leaves with a flick of his beak. His steps leave no sound, only faint ripples in the stillness. During breeding, the female nests in a shallow scrape under tangled roots, her plumage blending perfectly with the soil. She guards her single egg through rain and shadow, a portrait of patience. And when morning mist thins across the forest, the gray peacock pheasant vanishes once more. Only a trace of silver left behind, like a memory shimmering through the trees. Have you ever seen a bird so tall it seems to walk on the horizon itself? Meet the Sarus crane, Antigone, the tallest flying bird on Earth, a living silhouette of grace and devotion. With its silver-gray body, crimson head, and eyes burning like dawn, it moves through Myanmar's wetlands with a slow, deliberate elegance that feels almost human. Its very name, rooted in ancient Sanskrit, evokes nobility. Antigone, the one who defies and endures. Found in the open floodplains and marshes of central and southern Myanmar, the Sarus crane prefers wide horizons, lands of reflection and still water. These wetlands shimmer beneath the tropical sun, their silence broken only by the deep, resonant calls of cranes echoing across miles. Once abundant, they have dwindled with the draining of marshes, yet the few that remain still stand as sentinels of life and loyalty. Standing nearly 6 feet tall with wings stretching over 8 feet, the Sarus crane embodies grandeur in motion. Its slender neck arches like a reed in the wind, and when it takes flight, the world seems to pause. Massive wings slicing through air in powerful rhythmic beats. But what truly defines this bird is its love. Sarus cranes form lifelong pairs, their bonds sealed in breathtaking dances, bows, leaps, and synchronized calls that fill the air with haunting music. These rituals are not just displays, they are vows renewed beneath the open sky. Feeding on aquatic plants, grains, and small creatures, they move methodically through shallow water, each step mirrored in the glassy surface below. During nesting season, the pair builds a mound of reeds and mud in the marsh, raising 1 or 2 chicks under constant watch. Both parents guard the nest with fierce devotion, their calls echoing like ancient hymns of fidelity. And when the sun sets over the flooded fields, 2 cranes stand reflected in gold, a mirror of love, resilience, and the quiet majesty of the wild. Imagine standing by a river so still that the sky seems to rest upon it. And then, through the veil of mist, a giant silhouette moves. The white-bellied heron, Ardea insignis, ghost of Asia's rivers, emerges in silence. Towering and pale against the dark water, it's among the world's rarest herons, fewer than 60 believed to exist. Its name, insignis, means remarkable or distinguished, and no word fits better. To witness one is to see a legend written in feathers and patience. Found along remote forested rivers of northern and western Myanmar, it haunts places few humans ever tread, where cold currents cut through valleys and the air smells of rain and stone. These quiet waterways, shared with otters and kingfishers, are its last refuge. Once spread across the eastern Himalayas, the species now survives only in isolated pockets, its world shrinking with every dam and clearing. Standing up to 4.5 feet tall, this heron is a figure of elegant restraint. Its slate-gray body contrasts with a gleaming white belly, and its long neck arches like drawn silk. The dagger-shaped bill glints black against the light, built for precision, not haste. In the stillness of dawn, it hunts, motionless for long minutes, before striking in a flash, so swift it barely ripples the surface. Fish, frogs, and crustaceans vanish beneath its spear-like beak. Its poise turns patience into power. Solitary by nature, it seldom tolerates company, ruling its stretch of river with quiet authority. Even its call, a deep, rasping croak, seems more echo than sound. When nesting season arrives, a pair builds high in tall trees along the water, laying 2 or 3 pale eggs that gleam like river stones. Both parents guard their young with vigilance, their lives bound to the rhythm of the current. And as mist curls once more over the river, the heron lifts into the air, broad wings unfolding, silver-gray against dawn, a vanishing spirit gliding into the heart of silence. Picture a quiet forest pond at daybreak, the surface smooth as glass. Then a dark shape glides across it, wings whispering against the mist. The white-winged duck, Asarcornis scuculata, appears like a secret come to life. Rare and regal, its white panels flashing against a cloak of deep bronze black. Its name, from Latin roots meaning spotted and winged, hints at that fleeting brilliance when it takes flight. An echo of light in the dim green of Myanmar's forested wetlands. Once widespread across Southeast Asia, this elusive duck now clings to survival in Myanmar's northern lowland forests and secluded oxbow lakes. It favors still waters shaded by tall dipterocarps and tangled bamboo, where fallen logs and hanging roots create a labyrinth of reflections. Every movement here is hushed, the cry of a distant hornbill, the sigh of the water. In such quiet, the duck's sudden rise startles like a ripple through a dream. Measuring about 32 inches in length and weighing around 6 pounds, it is among the largest forest ducks in Asia. The white patches on its wings blaze like lightning when spread, while the rest of its plumage absorbs light. Dark, oil-smooth, and nearly iridescent. Its orange bill and eyes gleam vividly against the dusk-toned body. A master of concealment, the white-winged duck spends much of the day hidden among roots and reeds, venturing out at twilight to feed. It dabbles for fallen fruit, aquatic plants, snails, and small fish, moving with the stealth of a shadow on water. When nesting season comes, pairs choose hollow trees or secluded cavities near quiet ponds, lining them with down. The female lays up to 10 ivory eggs, guarded fiercely against monitor lizards and civets. And when rain drapes the forest in silver and thunder murmurs through the canopy, the white-winged duck takes to the air again, its wings gleaming like torn pieces of moonlight, vanishing into the endless green. Mist rises off a still lake at dawn, carrying the scent of wet reeds and the distant chorus of frogs. A ripple cuts through the mirror surface, then a flash of chestnut and emerald appears. The potter's Baer's pochard. Aithia baeri, once abundant across Asia's wetlands, glides into view. Its plumage burns with the hues of autumn. Deep mahogany on the head, crisp white on the belly, and eyes that glow red like embers before sunrise. It is a sight both serene and tragic, for this duck now stands at the edge of extinction. Found in the quiet marshes and floodplains of eastern Myanmar, the Baer's pochard favors calm. Freshwater lakes rimmed with grasses and lotus blooms. Here, the air hums with insects and the soft rustle of reeds. These wetlands, once teeming with life, have grown silent under the weight of human expansion. But a few scattered pairs still return, clinging to the memory of their ancestral waters. Roughly 18 inches long and just over 2 pounds, it's a compact diver built for grace beneath the surface. The male gleams with metallic green and dark chocolate tones, while the female wears a softer brown, her beauty quiet but steadfast. An adept swimmer, it dives swiftly to snatch aquatic plants, snails, and insect larvae from the muddy depths. When surfacing, droplets roll down its back like glass beads, catching the pale morning light. As the breeding season approaches, pairs form tight bonds, building floating nests from reeds and rushes tucked among thick vegetation. The female guards her clutch of creamy eggs, while the male keeps watch from nearby water. And in those fleeting moments between fog and daylight, the Baer's pochard drifts alone across its fading world. Each reflection, a reminder of what beauty can vanish when silence grows too deep. From deep within Myanmar's evergreen forests comes the sound of wings, heavy, rhythmic, and resonant, like the pulse of the jungle itself. Then it appears, the great hornbill, Pucheros bicornis, an airborne monarch painted in gold, black, and ivory. Its massive yellow casque gleams in the sunlight, curving proudly above a bright, banana-shaped bill. Revered in local folklore as a messenger between heaven and earth, this bird's presence feels sacred, as though the forest were bowing in its shadow. Found across the dense rainforests of southern and western Myanmar, the great hornbill reigns among the tallest canopies, preferring towering dipterocarps where fruit ripens in abundance. It glides across green valleys and river gorges, its wing beats so deep they can be heard half a mile away, a heartbeat echoing through the trees. Though once widespread, its range has shrunk with the felling of ancient giants it depends on for nesting and food. Stretching nearly 4 feet in length and weighing close to 7 pounds, It is one of the largest hornbills in Asia. The male's casque glows like polished amber, while its neck and underparts blaze with cream and black bands. When it soars, the flash of its white-tipped wings and the boom of air beneath them create a sound like thunder passing overhead. Feeding mostly on figs and forest fruits, the great hornbill is also a gardener of the wild, dispersing seeds across vast distances, keeping the jungle alive with every meal. It occasionally takes small reptiles or insects, snapping them up with its powerful beak. During breeding season, the female seals herself inside a tree cavity, leaving only a narrow slit through which the male delivers food for months. Inside, she incubates and raises the chick, trusting her mate completely. And when at last she breaks free, the forest explodes with color and sound. A family reborn beneath the ancient trees, the great hornbill's flight once again marking the sky like a golden flame of life. Morning light filters through dripping mangroves, the air thick with the scent of wet leaves and river mud. A sudden streak of copper red flashes across the stillness. The ruddy kingfisher, Halcyon coromanda. Its call, low and haunting, rolls through the forest like a whispered secret. With feathers the color of sunset and a bill bright as coral, it turns the dim green of Myanmar's wetlands into a living painting of fire and shadow. Found across the dense lowland forests, bamboo groves, and river valleys of southern Myanmar, the ruddy kingfisher seeks out quiet waters shaded by ancient trees. It perches motionless above forest streams, waiting with infinite patience. This bird thrives where the air is heavy with humidity, and time seems to slow. A creature of silence and precision. Only about 9 inches long, it is small but luminous. The male's plumage glows with reddish chestnut tones that gleam like lacquer under sunlight, while its deep orange bill cuts sharply against the green world around it. Even in stillness, it carries the energy of a flame about to leap. A master hunter, the ruddy kingfisher dives in a blur of color, striking the water with deadly accuracy. Fish, frogs, and insects vanish in its grasp before it retreats to a shaded perch, shaking droplets from its plumage. Its timing is perfect, never hurried, never wasted. During the nesting season, pairs carve out hollows in riverbanks or decayed trunks, lining them with wood chips and leaves. Both parents take turns guarding the eggs, their duet calls resonating softly through the rain-heavy forest. When the monsoon clouds gather and the rivers swell, the ruddy kingfisher darts once more through the curtain of rye. Dappled light filters through the forest canopy, mingling with the scent of damp earth and wild orchids. A flash of sapphire cuts across the green. The Tickell's blue flycatcher, Chiornis tickellii, has arrived. Its song, bright and liquid, flows through the trees like sunlight turned into sound. Small yet radiant, this bird brings color to Myanmar's shaded forests. A spark of sky come to rest on a low branch. Found across the forested foothills and riverine woodlands of southern and eastern Myanmar, it prefers quiet places where light and shadow dance together. It flits through bamboo thickets, garden edges, and forest clearings, thriving in the warmth of lowland jungles and the calm of old-growth trees. Every movement seems measured, every note deliberate, as if it knows the forest listens. Barely 5 inches long, the Tickell's blue flycatcher wears a mantle of vivid cobalt that deepens toward the wings. Its throat glows orange gold, fading into a snowy belly, a perfect blend of fire and sky. The eyes, black and round, gleam with alert curiosity, always watching for the tiniest flicker of motion. Perched on a slender twig, it darts out in sudden bursts, snatching insects mid-air with dazzling precision before returning to its post. Each flight is swift, clean, and graceful, a flash of color vanishing and reappearing between shafts of light. Its diet of flies, moths, and beetles keeps the forest in balance. Even as it hunts, its soft calls ripple through the undergrowth, weaving music into the silence of the morning. In the breeding season, it chooses tree hollows or earthen banks to nest, lining them with roots and moss. The pair works side by side, gentle yet tireless, raising their brood in the filtered calm of the forest. Now, as sunlight drips through the leaves, the Tickell's blue flycatcher perches once more, wings half open, throat glowing amber, singing to the forest that gave it light, its voice a shimmer that melts into the green. With a sharp rustle of grass, a tiny bird bursts upward, wings beating in frantic rhythm before vanishing into the reeds again. The chestnut-capped babbler, Timalia pileata, moves like wind through tall fields, quick, alert, and unseen. Its chestnut crown flashes against the pale stalks, a spark of life amid the monotone gold of Myanmar's dry plains. Small but unyielding, it rules a kingdom of whispering grass and shifting shadow. This species thrives across the open scrublands and wet meadows of central and southern Myanmar, where rice paddies fade into wild marsh. Here, the air vibrates with heat and sound, a living tapestry of rustles, buzzes, and wings. Barely 6 inches long, the chestnut-capped babbler wears soft brown plumage, streaked with buff and black. Its rufous crown burns bright under the sun, while a white throat and streaked chest give it the look of something both humble and precise. Its small, restless eyes gleam with quick intelligence, always scanning, always aware. Its behavior is a constant dance between stealth and song. The bird weaves through tall grass like a phantom, calling in short, metallic trills that bounce through the fields. Insects are its treasure. It hops, pecks, and disappears again, leaving only ripples in the reeds. Feeding on ants, grasshoppers, and beetles, it hunts low and fast, often working in pairs that echo each other's calls in perfect rhythm. Their voices rise and fall with the wind, blending into the hum of the earth itself. During nesting season, they build a finely woven dome of grass hidden deep within the reeds, invisible even to a careful eye. Inside, 2 or 3 eggs rest in a cradle of woven stems, guarded fiercely against the vast open sky. And beneath that same sky, where thunder rolls and the wind bends whole fields, the chestnut-capped babbler clings to a single reed, defying the storm. Fragile, yet unbroken, it sings, a whisper of endurance against the grandeur of the wild. The spot-breasted parrotbill, Paradoxornis gutaticollis, lives in constant motion, its rounded body weaving between stems with the precision of a dancer. The name Paradoxornis means strange bird, and indeed, there's nothing ordinary about it. Half songbird, half parrot, wrapped in warm hues of gold and brown. In the dense bamboo forests of Myanmar, it is both melody and mystery. Found across the hill forests and bamboo thickets of eastern and northern Myanmar, this species thrives in places where the wind hums through hollow stalks and the air smells of moss and earth. It moves in small, chattering flocks, rarely still for more than a heartbeat. When sunlight filters through the leaves, their spotted breasts gleam like tiny constellations swaying in green light. About 7 inches long, the spot-breasted parrotbill is instantly recognizable by its thick, curved yellow bill. Strong enough to crack tough seeds, yet delicate enough to pluck insects from bark. Its soft plumage glows with cinnamon and buff tones, while the throat and breast bear neat rows of dusky spots, as if painted by rain. Its behavior is a symphony of teamwork. The birds call constantly to one another, whistles, trills, and clicks, keeping their flock connected through the maze of vegetation. Their movements, synchronized and swift, turn chaos into harmony, transforming bamboo groves into living corridors of sound. Feeding on seeds, small fruits, and spiders, they cling sideways to stems, acrobats of balance and precision. Even as predators approach, they vanish into the green, leaving only the faint rustle of leaves behind. When nesting, the pair builds a sturdy cup of grass bound with spider silk, tucked safely among dense bamboo. The female lays 3 to 5 eggs, pale and speckled like forest pebbles, while both parents share the care of their fragile brood. And as the evening breeze moves through the bamboo, their soft chatter rises again, small voices threading through vastness. The air is heavy with the scent of mud and rain. Across a flooded field, white wings catch the morning light, slow, deliberate, and silent. The black-headed ibis, Thresciornis melanocephalus, moves through Myanmar's wetlands with the grace of a monk in meditation. Its long, curved bill glistens with water as it probes the soft earth, drawing life from the mud beneath. Elegant yet austere, this wading bird embodies the quiet rhythm of the monsoon plains. Found across Myanmar's freshwater marshes, rice paddies, and open floodplains, the black-headed ibis thrives where land and water merge. It follows the turning of the seasons, appearing with the rains and retreating to higher ground when the fields dry. In the early morning, flocks drift like white clouds over glimmering ponds, their silhouettes mirrored in the stillness below. Standing nearly 2.5 feet tall, with a wingspan approaching 4 feet, this ibis is both imposing and graceful. Its snowy plumage contrasts sharply with its glossy black head and neck, bare of feathers, giving it an almost sculptural appearance. When it spreads its wings, the world seems to pause. The purity of white against the dark earth evokes both serenity and strength. Feeding on frogs, crustaceans, and aquatic insects, it forages in patient silence, sweeping its sickle-shaped bill through shallow pools. Each movement is measured, guided by instinct honed through centuries of floods and droughts. During the breeding season, colonies gather on tall trees above wetlands, weaving twig nests crowded with life and sound. The air fills with the soft clatter of bills and the faint cries of chicks begging for food. As rain begins to fall once more, the black-headed ibis rises from the marsh in effortless rhythm, its pale form dissolving into the gray horizon, a fleeting ghost of the monsoon sky, both transient and eternal. The tide recedes, leaving behind the scent of salt and the shimmer of wet sand. A lone silhouette stands at the water's edge, the great-billed heron, Ardea sumatrana. Tall and still, it waits among the ripples, its slate-gray feathers blending with the sea's muted hues. A faint breeze stirs its plumes as it lowers its head, eyes fixed, every muscle coiled in silence. Then, in a flash, the bill strikes. Swift, precise, final. Found along Myanmar's mangrove coasts, tidal flats, and remote estuaries, this heron thrives where land dissolves into sea. It seeks solitude, stalking fish in shallow waters, tinted gold at sunrise and silver by dusk. Few birds venture so close to the ocean's breath. Fewer still stand with such composure before its shifting moods. In this realm of salt and wind, the great-billed heron is both hunter and sentinel. Reaching over 4.5 feet in height, it is one of the largest herons in the world. Its long, spear-like bill, dark and powerful, can pierce through fish or crustacean with effortless force. The feathers, dusky gray with soft blue tones, ripple faintly in the coastal light, making the bird appear sculpted from mist and water. Patient and deliberate, it hunts by stillness. Minutes pass as it freezes in perfect balance, waiting for a flicker beneath the tide. Then a strike, quick as lightning, clean as instinct. Few creatures display such command over silence and movement. Its diet is as simple as its rhythm: fish, crabs, and the occasional frog. It nests on high trees or rocky islets, where the sound of waves becomes a cradle song for its young. Yet even this giant stands fragile before the ocean's vastness. Storms reshape its world, and rising seas creep closer to its nesting grounds. Still, the great-billed heron remains tall, patient, unyielding, a solitary figure etched against the horizon, proof that even in nature's immensity, endurance itself can be a form of grace. A shape moves through the mist, tall, pale, deliberate. The Asian open-bill stork, Anastomus ossitans, steps forward, its long legs slicing cleanly through the shallows. Its bill, oddly gapped even when closed, glints in the light, an instrument perfectly forged for its one true purpose. Common across Myanmar's wetlands and irrigated farmlands, the open bill is most at home among lotus ponds, marshes, and seasonal floodplains. It follows the rhythm of the monsoon, arriving with the rains and vanishing when the fields dry. In great flocks, they move like drifting clouds, their pale forms mirrored in the water below, a harmony of reflection and sky. Standing nearly 3 feet tall, the stork's plumage shifts between smoky gray and white, depending on the season. Its namesake open bill, arched and slightly parted, may seem strange, yet it is a masterpiece of adaptation, designed to extract freshwater snails from their shells with surgical precision. Patient and precise, the open bill stands motionless before striking with a sudden snap of its bill. The sound breaks the morning stillness, echoing across the wetland before silence returns. Every movement it makes is measured, guided by years of instinct refined through countless seasons. It feeds mostly on snails and mollusks, walking methodically through the shallows, its reflection shimmering with each step. Where humans harvest rice, the stork follows, turning the fields into a shared sanctuary of labor and life. In the breeding months, colonies gather in tall trees, nests woven from reeds and twigs swaying gently above the flooded world. The air fills with the soft crackle of wings and the tender clatter of bills, a chorus of renewal. When the last ripples smooth across the water, the open bill stands in quiet silhouette. Time drifts around it, unhurried and eternal. The wetlands glow with morning light, a mosaic of silver water and green reeds. From the distance comes a flicker of bronze and wine red. Then a shape unfolds its wings, glinting like liquid metal. The glossy ibis, Plegadus falcinellus, sweeps low over the flooded fields of Myanmar, its curved bill slicing through the haze. The air hums with the scent of mud and the drone of insects, and for a moment, the bird's iridescence seems to pull all colors of dawn into itself. This elegant wanderer frequents Myanmar's marshes, rice paddies, and river deltas, drawn to places where water pools and life teems below the surface. It follows the seasons faithfully, appearing with the rains, dispersing when the land dries. Seen in groups or in graceful lines above the wetlands, the glossy ibis moves like flowing ink across a page of light. About 25 inches long, it is a medium-sized wader, slim and regal. Its plumage, dark at first glance, transforms under sunlight into a sheen of green, copper, and violet. The long, downward curved bill gives it an almost mythical silhouette, part shadow, part reflection. It feeds methodically, probing the shallow water for insects, snails, small crustaceans, and amphibians. Each movement is quiet and precise, its curved bill tracing invisible patterns through the soft mud. Around it, the air ripples with the calls of herons and the rustle of reeds, but the ibis itself remains composed, its calm presence mirroring the water it hunts in. When the breeding season begins, it joins its kind in noisy colonies, building stick nests in tall trees or reed beds near still ponds. Both parents share the task of raising their young, their care as steady as the tides that guide their world. As the sun lowers and the marsh glows amber, the glossy ibis lifts once more into the quiet sky. Its wings shimmer between light and shadow. And in that fleeting gleam, neither day nor night, the bird becomes what it has always been, the living reflection of water and fire, balance and beauty, forever bound to the rhythm of the wetlands. The morning sun burns low over Myanmar's grasslands, and from the haze of dust and hooves, a flash of white takes flight. The cattle egret, Bubulcus ibis, moves with the rhythm of the herds, its golden crest glowing like fire against the dry earth. The air smells of grass and soil. Every wingbeat stirs a shimmer of dust. This small heron has learned to walk beside giants, cows, buffalo, even elephants, turning their every step into an opportunity for survival. Found across Myanmar's plains, rice paddies, and wetlands, the cattle egret thrives wherever animals graze. It follows the plow and the herd alike, snatching insects startled by movement. When rain floods the fields, its white form dots the horizon like drifting petals. symbols of balance between man, beast, and land. Barely 20 inches tall and weighing about a pound, it is compact and sturdy. In breeding plumage, its head and back blush with golden-orange feathers that shimmer in sunlight. The bill glows yellow, sharp and purposeful, built to strike with speed and accuracy. Its foraging is a dance of timing and trust. As livestock move, it trails behind, plucking grasshoppers and beetles from the air. Each motion is quick but deliberate, a pact between two worlds, wild and domestic. During nesting season, flocks gather in colonies, filling the trees with a chorus of croaks and fluttering wings. Their stick nests sway gently over pools and pastures, each one a cradle of fragile white life. When twilight descends and the herds settle, the last light fades from its golden crown and the field falls still, a portrait of harmony between creature and earth, fleeting yet eternal. Across Myanmar's golden plains, mist-cloaked hills, and tranquil rivers, every bird we've met tells a story older than the temples that rise from its land. From the sacred cry of the green peafowl echoing through forest light, to the silent grace of the white-bellied heron standing watch along forgotten rivers, each one carries the soul of a country where nature and spirit still walk hand in hand. Their wings brush across history itself, from the rain-drenched jungles of the north to the sunlit deltas of the south. They remind us that beauty endures even where silence reigns. Every feather, every call, is a whisper of Myanmar's untamed heart. Thank you for journeying with BBTV Official through this land of timeless skies and living songs. If these rare and wondrous birds have stirred something within you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share which one captured your imagination the most. Until our next adventure, may the spirit of Myanmar's wild places, its colors, its calm, and its quiet strength stay with you wherever you are.